Alright guys, we got our header in. I'm going to clean the bench off here and show you what we got for the next mods, which would be the header, the intake, the methanol kit, and I haven't really showed you that. We got the gasket for porting the head, the manifold. Y'all have already seen the manifold, but I wanted to mention this. I got a video coming up where I took this just in case kit that I had some people sent it to me, you know, to review it type of thing, and I usually don't do that, but this is something I think we can use, and I show in the video how to hotwire your winch with the little jumper cables that come with it. So y'all check that out and take a look at it. I got us a promo code for money off of it, and it's not that expensive, but I'll have that video coming up, and the main thing in the video you can learn is how to hotwire your winch when all your solenoids and stuff aren't working. But let me get this out of the way. We'll get the Stinger header up there and take a look at it, and that'll be on the next video coming up. Alright, there's our methanol kit. Didn't never really go over it. It's from Hydro HP, and that's the pump. Probably gonna have to put all this on the inside. This is the boost juice that it uses. It's half methanol, half water, and some additives. Maybe it'll smell cool. Usually does when you burn it. You'll be able to tell I'm spraying it. A little bottle. We probably got to put this in the back and I'll get some more of this hose. This is the pressure line going to it. That's the vacuum line. It's a vacuum switch that operates it. When it hits like 4 inches of vacuum or less, it cuts it on. Once it's armed, and that's all the wiring stuff. This is that check valve I was telling you about that it pushes through. It's 150 psi to bust through that. And then this is the injector right here. 90. I just screwed it in at 90 where I wouldn't lose it. That's the injector. You can barely see the little hole in it, but it's under a lot of pressure, 150 psi, so it'll move some fluid through it. Now, what I was talking about putting the injector in the intake, as many of y'all might have figured out already, that it may work, it may not work. We're not going to test it. We're going to put it in the tube above it for this reason. This is 150 psi break point. Well, if you put that injector in the intake manifold, when the butterfly is closed and you're idling, there's going to be 20 inches of vacuum sucking on this jet, and sucking on the line, and sucking on all of it. So what that means is 20 inches of vacuum is a pretty good bit, and that's what, you know, our Jeeps have about that at idle, 18 to 22 inches of vacuum. If something was to happen to the pump or the valve or anything like that, it could just suck that stuff right into the engine when we're on the trails, or it could possibly affect the breaking point of this. So we're just going to do it like they say. Like I said, I don't ever read damn directions, and we're just not going to risk it. It's fine. We'll put it up where it's spraying this way and it won't run down the intake, and still do the same thing, but it won't be in the manifold, and we won't have to worry about putting a hole in it or any of that. We ain't got to worry about it having vacuum on it. It won't have no vacuum on it above the throttle blades, but below the throttle blades it's going to have 20 inches of vacuum on it at idle, and we don't want it sucking vacuum on all this because it could cause us a problem. Alright, now let me get that out of the way and we will look at the Stinger header. I got one of these mats, these cutting mats. I actually got 2 of them. Pretty cool. My bench is made out of 2x6s, and there's cracks in the middle. Don't ever make your bench out of 2x6s. Use plywood. At least overlay it with plywood, because everything wants to fall through it. There's the header. box is ripped open. Hopefully the gasket and all that stuff's in there. Never fails, huh? It's gonna be something wrong with shipping. Let me get it laid out and we'll come back to it. Oh, and by the way, I appreciate all you guys that commented on the tire video. I really do want to put 40s on my Jeep, and I'm glad that you guys support me whatever I want to do. I think it's cool. I mean, we did all that work to the axles, we might as well put them to the test, you know? And we're trying to make some more power right now. That's weird. This paint just cooks right off right here. So we may stick it in the bead blaster. We will stick it in the bead blaster. And we will bead blast all this crap off of it. And we will paint it with some good stuff. It comes with that. It comes with, this is really why I wanted it. It comes with the downpipe and stuff, and I like that. It comes with that. It's bent. Ain't no biggie, we can straighten it. I've watched some videos on YouTube where these don't really fit that good, but I got a welder and a bandsaw, so I'll let y'all know how easy it is to put on when we get to it versus, you know, without cutting it or anything. But I needed this on my Jeep because my header was cracked up, my stock header. And you can weld up your stock header and fix the cracks, and it'll last a couple years. And I wanted this over the eBay stainless header because, you know, this metal will last for what I do with it. You know, y'all know mine's a trail Jeep. Let's see what else it comes with. It's probably, yeah. It must have to use a different thing. Everything's in here, which is good. O2 sensor wrap, O2 sensor extender. I'm guessing I didn't look at the directions. That's what it looks like. Moving that O2 down a little bit is probably going to richen it up a little bit too. Yeah, it's an extender for the O2s. Alright. Now let's look at what we really need to be looking at. Let's see how big, or see how the head, the gasket fits our manifold. You want to look at this one more time? It does look cool. I bet it'd sound cool with a carburetor straight down, both of them. Big cam. Big camshaft, carburetor popping out of there. Be pretty cool. But we'll bead blast all that, and we will get this open, get the intake over here, and we'll look and see what we're gonna be doing with the porting. All right. See if y'all can see what I'm doing here. How about that? Ow. Hold on a second. You want to get bolts that fit through the pinholes. Let's take our jig, stand it up a little bit, maybe. I need like 1/2 inch bolts. Let me get some 1/2 inch bolts. It's a good tight fit. See, if you went straight ahead and gasket matched it to that, that would not be cool. This gasket's not right. It's kind of wonky. Just flip it over and see if it fits any better. Alright, look at the Jeep, it's raining. And it goes like that. Yes, it does. Much better. Alright, let me see what I'm doing wrong here. Fitting worth the shit. I'm still studying it. We may have to get a Felpro gasket. Something I trust. Because I don't know what that gasket is, but it damn sure don't fit too good. Nah. You do not want to match the. You know, that's why I don't like it when they call it gasket matching. Because if you match this head to this gasket, it'd be junk when you got done with it. Can y'all see that? No. See how far that goes down past the steel? You do not want to take that out of there like that. So I've seen people just mark out where the gasket goes and cut it. You don't do that. You don't never mess with the floor of a port in a head. The roof is what you mess with. And the gasket don't even match the roof up here. So that ain't going to work. We'll have to get a gasket. Get a Felpro and then we'll go from there, because I trust Felpro better than I would trust one that came with a header. Therma seal. Yeah, it fits the head just about as good as it fits the. Let's see something here. Pretty damn close already. It's not going to require much. Let's see something here. Let me get my tools. You don't want to just go hogging your cylinder head out, or hogging the manifold out, and you'll lose all your velocity, you'll lose all your airflow characteristics, and cause yourself, make it lose power. That's why these 1.253 1.34. It's a little wider. Height 1.539 from flat to flat. .637. It is larger. Very little though. I think we'll get a different gasket instead of trying to use this one, because I'm going to have to cut the gasket and all that, and I don't want to be showing y'all how to do it, or showing you how I do it. Maybe not how to do it, but how I do it the first time. But you do want to get the proper gasket, a good quality gasket, a Fel-Pro or something like that. You take a bowl head that fits your dowel pins, and you can stake it on there. See, we know it goes like so. Extra dowel pins, and this would go on there like so. So we want to dowel pin the gasket on there. You know, if it was on the Jeep, it'd be easier to figure this out. You wouldn't have to do what I'm doing here, but let's transpose this right back over on the intake, and we'll take a look at it where we know it's on the right direction. Just like so. Take you a bolt that fits tight, snug in the dowel pins to hold it. And this is where you would mark it. Put it on there right. Yeah, that's not going to work. That gasket ain't going to work. Let me get the head out of the way and we'll take a look at it. It ain't no, it ain't saying nothing about the header. But it's just like when you buy aluminum cylinder heads, like for race cars, like aluminum cylinder head. Like if you was to buy that Edelbrock head and you bought it for $1,200, but you can, let's say it's $1,100 bare, and you can get it for $1,200 with all the valves in it. You just got yourself some $100 valves, which ain't worth shit. So it's the same thing with this. You know, you can't expect the gasket to be the best thing in the world when it came with it. Because it don't line up worth shit. Let me get y'all where you can see this. But it's not even coming up to the roof of the port all the way. And it's bad off. We can't. I mean, I could make it work, but I'd have to cut the gasket. And there's a good. It's all the way up to here. It's got to come out. We'll just get a better gasket. This gasket is not going to work. If you took this gasket and you stuck it on that cylinder head and you marked out all these holes and you cut that shit out just like that, it would not work worth a crap. If you even got enough metal there. You don't. Shit, that's down past almost to the end of the lip there. So the gasket's junk. No biggie. It is what it is. You could relocate the dials and make it work, but we don't want to have to be fighting all that shit. That side over there is closer. That's what you want to be seeing, something like that lined up. You can see how far off we're on the dials on the ends here. But that's what you would want to be seeing, you know, just a little bit of meat around the edges. And not that crap like this. So when you get your, if you ever buy a header and you use the gasket to come with it, that's not what you want to see. You want to see, you know, something like that. That right there, I bet that causes some people problems. But most people are probably like me and they just get a different gasket and don't use the one that comes with it. Let's see how the header fits. They sure they got their part of it right. But the intake side of it ain't right. See, with everything on the dials, the exhaust ports line up perfect. But on the dials, the intake don't line up perfect. But like I said, it's all good. We'll get a Velcro intake gasket and we'll go from there with it. Man, that's way off. I mean, there's a 1/4 of an inch of material right there on the gasket that'd have to come off. But then if you raise this up to where it would match, that's how it should be. If you did that, then the exhaust wouldn't line up. So the gasket's just cut wrong. That's all there is to it. I'd hate to see somebody put that on their Jeep though, because the damn gasket would be blocking off half the port. But like I said, when you get parts like a header and or whatever, you don't want to really use the gasket to come with it unless it's not nothing very important. But when you come to, if you're going to port an intake manifold, you definitely don't want to go buy an untrusted gasket. You get one you trust, like Velcro's good. I've always used Velcro. They make good gaskets. Anyway guys, I guess that's it on this one. I'll get a gasket. I'm going to post a video on the just in case stuff and show you how to wire up a winch. I'm just trying to get the promo code and I'll put it into the video. But we'll get another gasket and I'll make a video on porting this intake and I'll go in details, pretty good detail with it where y'all can do yours and not get yourself in trouble. But if you was to put that up there, trace it out like most books show. Most books show to trace out the gasket and then you grind the head out to the trace out mark. Well, if you did that with this gasket, not knowing what you was doing, you'd ruin the head and the intake. So, you know, some of the intake porting videos I've seen on some of the Jeep stuff isn't correct. I mean, you can't just draw out and port it. You can't rely on the gasket maker to flow your air right. You got to flow your air right, and you got to make sure the gaskets, just to seal it, you can't use this as a guide unless you know it's right. And when we get the other gasket in, we'll compare the difference between these two before we go to porting. I'll try to get one tomorrow, and maybe sometime this weekend we can port the intake. It's not going to be much. It shouldn't be very much. It should be, you know, a quickie. Like I said, that's what that gasket should look like, which gives us our room to do what we want to do with the injector boss. Injector boss will be that camel hump up there on the side. It should give us the room to do what we want to do with the injector boss, and then that little bit of material around that would be about ideal what you'd want to take off, whatever the cylinder head is. or close to it without going past it. You could be narrower, but you don't want to be bigger than the head, the intake manifold that is. You want a smooth flow through there. But we'll get another gasket and we'll compare the differences. That way I can show y'all too, when you get a gasket, how to make sure it's right and it's a good deal. Anyway guys, y'all have a good one. We'll holler at you later. Thanks for all y'all support on the tires and stuff, man. It was pretty cool. I never spent so much time answering questions first thing in the morning, but I was really curious to see what y'all had to say about it. And y'all did, most of y'all did what I thought you would do. 40s, 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 because that's what I was thinking too. Why the hell spend all the money on the axles and shit if you ain't going to use it? So we're definitely going to use it. And we'll see what happens. But y'all take it easy and we'll holler at you later. Alright, bye.